Okay, hi guys, welcome back to another review and welcome back to the channel. This is the Ziigaat Cinno earphones. This is an interesting one. 4 balanced armatures, 1 dynamic driver. The balanced armatures are set up in the configuration of 2 highs, 2 lows and the dynamic to handle the bass. The Ziigaat Neo is a ultra cheap earphone that I just finished reviewing on the channel, 10mm LCP, and that blew me away for the price. Absolutely fantastic in terms of the body, the construction, the cable that's included, and the sound quality. And it's good to see that Ziigaat can scale their performance. While a lot of stuff may seem similar, everything is raised, like in terms of quality, just a little bit. If we take a look at the earphones, we have a more premium body on the outside of it. It's hard to tell, but it's a more premium, more dense sort of feeling shell on it, and certainly the underlay and the gloss over the top of the Ziigaat logo just feels a lot more premium. If I go ahead and take the ear tips off, the strange thing is that they went for a full plastic nozzle, whereas on the other one they went for a metal nozzle, which is more indicative of stuff that comes out the KZ factory. This does feel very, very nice, and despite having a different nozzle, it still retains the excellent comfort levels that I saw on the Neo. It's got the dust protection on the outside there to stop nasties going down. It is a very small and very ergonomically friendly earphone, but the thing that I really liked was it was so lightweight. The other thing is the cable, of course, them being a 2-pin connector earphones with a flush mount system. The cable is a lot more premium. This is a gorgeous looking cable, and I hope that on the camera it's showing up this beautiful sort of turquoisey, deep aqua color of this cable. I think it looks absolutely spectacular. It comes only in a 3.5mm termination with the gold plating on the end and the metal jack body slight strain relief. It is a dual twist that goes into single strand after the splitter, so there's a little bit of microphonics picked up through that, but it's cancelled out again once you get to the over-ear loops. The only thing is the loops on the ears are a little bit long with the relief. I think it would be better to have it maybe just a little bit shorter, but that's something you can modify on your own very, very easily. Metal termination on the 2-pin connectors as well. The reason you would want to buy this is that it is just a very interesting earphone. A lot of earphones that are tuned with a very neutral response and a very sort of flat response, especially in the graphing curve when I was taking a look at my graphs, it is really, really quite flat all the way through from the sub bass into the sort of lower side of the treble. And that usually lends itself to having quite a cold and unengaging tuning, is the way that most manufacturers would lean to it. With Ziigaat, they've managed to add a really nice layer of warmth, and I praise the Neo for having that warmth in such a package, but this has the warmth, but it has way more detail, especially in that mid-range. There's a lot more detail, which punches sort of guitars and strings and vocals more to the forefront. Less sort of extension on the upper frequencies of somebody like, if you were listening to somebody called Dimash, and Dimash is a singer with a massive vocal range. He can go from some of the lowest octaves to some of the highest octaves. When you listen to that, you can hear that the depth and the prowl and the grumble and the warmth is absolutely fantastic in his lower octaves, and I would say that it just goes back to a more sort of normal sound as it gets to the upper echelons of his range. Same thing can be noticed in violins when you listen to something like the Devil's Trill. The violin comes in with the lower notes, absolutely wonderful, very good clarity, detail, separation. It's just when you get to the most upper ends of the treble that it just sounds normal. Now, what do I mean by it sounding just normal? Well, it's because the earphone as a whole sounds absolutely spectacular. It's a very, very competent, very good sounding earphone with very little in the way of deficiencies. Bass is strong, it's fast, it's authoritative, it can punch well, it can work well with pop, hip hop, those sort of genres. EDM is also adequately fast, although if you're going to spend a little bit more money getting to that sort of $150, $200 range, you're going to get more out of a specific bass head earphone for those genres if that's the predominant
predominant genre that you listen to. This one to me just performs well as an all-rounder. Treble response on it as well is extended a little bit, but it's not sibilant at all. One sort of downfall to that is that you're not going to get that same sort of treble presence, airiness and artificial soundstage enhancement that you get from a really pushed and airy treble, but I think it works well within the context, because if you push the treble in this earphone, it would stand out as a treble heavy earphone, given that the rest of the frequencies are so well balanced. Overall, I think it's a really impressive sort of step up from the Ziigaat Nuo. I'm not sure which one came out first. I would assume that it was the Nuo that were going to get people interested, but I think in combination with this cable, the redesign, it's very, very nice. The only thing I would say is that the packaging is a little bit underwhelming, and the accessories in terms of the ear tips are not that great. So I would recommend you get a set of ASLA's end of it tips. I'll leave a link in the description so that you can go and pick up a pair of them. But with that, I think it just makes it such a wonderful sounding earphone. So excellent job. Nice to see another new company or a new brand coming out and giving us something that you don't see a lot of in terms of that neutrality with added warmth. So great job, the Ziigaat Cinno.